So Tins, just for the nerds at home and me, give me your favourite rugby memory.
I think I got two that jump sort of out at me. One club, one country. I think you always sort of separate things.
Yeah.
So you always the club memory would have been winning even the Parker Pen as it was Shield, but then with Gloucester, because it was my only taste of silverware in all my time of playing club rugby. Obviously I was at Bath when they won the Heineken Cup, but I wasn't part of it.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Parker Pen, it was our success. We'd been through it all together, and being part of it, it's just, you can't sort of beat those moments. But mainly the big one that jumps to me is internationally. It involves you for numerous reasons.
Yeah.
Was the South Africa tour in 2000.
Yeah. That was a good tour.
Because it was probably sort of the last amateurish tour where we actually got out and about and had a real good time.
Yeah.
Off the field.
A lot, yeah.
But also it was the first time, that second test, we beat South Africa for the first time in 30 years or whatever it was. And from that moment on, we didn't lose to a Southern Hemisphere side until 2004. So it sort of really kick-started where that England team went. Plus there were crashed golf buggies in there.
Yeah,
Joburg 3s.
Joburg 3. Some part of me is
decanters.
Proud to be part of that. That was a great tour, and I remember being a young kid on that tour, and we were both young kids, but you were kind of in the team, and I was on the bench and coming on as a lot more junior. I remember on my door, just knock on the door, and it was just Jono and Lawrence, and it wasn't like they were making an effort to include a young kid. They just walked past my room to get down to reception. They knocked on the door and they said, "All right, mate, you coming to town? We need to get Hawaiian shirts for the after the game tomorrow night." And I said, "Yeah, I was just." And Jono's like, "Well, I'll grab you one and bring it back if you want. I'll just get the same one, same size as me, and bring it back." And I was like, "No, I'll come with you." And it was a most bizarre experience, because after 5 minutes, completely comfortable with these absolute legends of the game, and you realise, that was the minute I realised they're just not any normal blokes, but just top blokes. And you're just sitting there having a coffee, and you get there and Jono's forgotten his wallet, so he's like, "Oh, Flats, can you get the coffee?" So I was like, "Mate, I earn £100 a week, but yes, and I get 2 weeks unpaid." I was on £5,000 a year when I first got capped at Sarries, So it was like, it's a bit crass talk about money, but if it's that little, it's all right. And I sort of get the coffees in, and Lowell gets the shirts in, because in South Africa things are pretty cheap for us, So, and then you realise that as soon as you step out and socialise with these guys, that they don't want you to treat them any differently. They want you to get amongst it with everyone else. And we had what a tour that was.
Land Rover, above and beyond.